This particular class is called How Do I Use the FamilySearch Community feature? And the reason that I felt that it was something that would be important is that a lot of people don't know much about it and don't necessarily know how to use it or what use it really can be. It's been around since the very beginning of FamilySearch. They used to have it as a message board, and then they realized that that wasn't always working as well as they wanted it to. And so then they turned it into the community and added different features to it. So we're going to start with right now with this idea of a FamilySearch community. It is a community because there are people that work together on the community to gather information and knowledge, share that information and knowledge. They can tell you about interesting events about family history that are coming up, for example, Roots Tech and other such events. Also, they love to have people connect with each other and be able to do better family history and family search research. So the FamilySearch community, of course, is only available on the FamilySearch website. However, there are other community type things, that forums and so on, that are on other websites. So if you like the FamilySearch community, you might want to check out some of those other websites if you have subscriptions and access to them. Now, how do you get to it? That's a good question. You have to be signed into FamilySearch to be able to use the community, and you have to have your own account. So first you sign into your account, and then on the help icon on the main menu, you can see it up at the top there. You're going to click on that and you will get the help menu, which we've talked about in another class that I did recently. Click on the help. It will come up and it will say community on one of the menu items, and then you just click on community, and then when you get there, you'll see this page or another page similar to it. Then you just click on that blue sign in button there on the left, or register, and it will allow you to then get into the community information. Or if you want to find a particular group that you're already with or that you're looking for to see whether or not it will be something that you want to further pursue, you can go to the Research Wiki, which is another thing, again, that you can find a class about in our library classes. So go to the Research Wiki, go to the country page or go to the county page. Usually it's the country page. Click on the online help button there. It's a purple button. And when it comes up, you'll usually have 3 other buttons to push on. One of them is join a FamilySearch community group. And that's the URL there, if you want to just be able to put it into your browser. And then once you get to the group, again, it will come up with the page that just has groups on it. And there's a bunch of groups. And then you can choose the groups that you wish to join. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. There's another way to get to it as well. From any country or county page in the Research Wiki, again, click on that purple online help button. Click on join an online research group instead. And then when you click that, it will bring up this page called Genealogy Research Groups. And on this, as you can see, you've got a bunch of different countries that have groups on FamilySearch Community. Some of them don't have FamilySearch Community groups, but if they don't, usually there's something else that you can go to on the Facebook pages or miscellaneous groups. So they don't just include FamilySearch groups on this page. This page has a lot of different groups that are outside FamilySearch. And that can be really useful. The Facebook groups are oftentimes sponsored by FamilySearch. The miscellaneous groups usually don't really have anything to do with FamilySearch per se. They might be a society or something that is completely outside of the FamilySearch purview. But you can click on a letter and it will take you to the section of the alphabet that your country that you're searching for or whatever you're looking for would be. Now, when you get there, usually if you haven't joined it before, it will take you to this page first when you first join. So when you click on join or register, it will come up with this page. And this page can be actually really nice, but you won't be able to usually to get to it again unless unless you unjoin yourself from the community. But what it has on it is basically some tips about how to use the community. So it'll give you a little bit more information maybe than I'm giving you today, or information about other things. Or if you forgot how to join a group, it'll be right there on the quick tip section there. And so it can be useful when you very first join. Now, I just want to point out on the right, you have the quick links. That arrow's pointing to it, quick links. This will give you the link to everything that's in the community, all the little bitty sections that are there. So keep that in mind. This is on every page. If you want other help or different kinds of help, or they don't give you enough information on this page, you can go to the question mark. Again, is up here. You can see where my cursor is at the question mark, and that will, if you click on that, it will give you help to specific community features in the Family Search and Help Learning. So when you are on the community page itself, however, and you click on the help, then it simply gives you the community help. So that's kind of nice that you don't have to go to the main help. If you're on the community page already, it'll take you just directly to community help. You can also get Family Search help on the main page of the main menu, any other page. You can just go to the Family Search Help and Learning. There's also classes about that. And you go to community and then search for blog articles and videos and other things about any community feature topics that you want to look up. The other thing you can always do is just Google your question and include Family Search as a reference when you Google the question that you're asking. And if it's in the Family Search community, you'll probably find an answer if you use the right question. Now, if I want you to just take a look here where it says search. If you use that search box up here in the this main part, that is not going to answer. It's not going to give you help or anything like that. It'll just, if you do that, it just brings up a discussion topic. So it basically just, like, if you have a question, it won't ask your question. It might bring up some discussions that will answer your question, but it won't bring up groups especially. So if you're looking for groups, do not use that search thing. That won't bring up the groups. It'll just bring up discussions. If you look at those icons again, there's some other things that you can do. If you click on follow, there's always a follow button on any of the groups. This is kind of off that page, but if you click on the follow button on the main home page for any group or any idea, then it will give you these options. You can follow the new comments that are made on your question, or you can follow any new posts that are made on that particular group. You can notify yourself of new or updated events that are associated with that particular group, or you can unfollow it. So that's kind of nice if you want to know when your question gets answered. That will let you notify yourself that has happened. And then you have the main menu up there, community home, ask a question, community news and groups. You can see those are the categories. They're found in that top menu. And there's also the other clickable boxes that you can find those 4 categories on the community home page. And these are the icons at the top. So you can see there's a globe. If you click on the globe, it will bring up a list of languages. So you can change the language, or you can also find a sub-community that goes with that language. This is only on the community page where you'd find sub-communities, okay? The magnifying glass is as a search. So it'll just bring up a search box, and this basically acts the same as that main search box that you saw. If you look at the question mark, that's help. And on the community page, it's only community help. If you click on the bell, that will be notifications that have been posted to you. If you click on the envelope, those are messages from other people that have been posted to you. And if you click on the person icon there, that's your account icon. It will lead you to your own personal settings. It will also give you your own bookmarks that are in community, your drafts that you've written and haven't actually posted yet, any discussions that you have been involved with, or it will let you sign out of the community. So you can also change under your own account settings. You can change your notifications to say you want different kinds of messages and so on. So if you've never changed notifications or know how to do that, then it's a nice idea to go to your account and just kind of check under your settings and see what kind of notifications you already are signed up for. And if you don't want to do the ones you're signed up for, you can always change that. So when you actually use those categories, those 4 categories, this is how you do it. So here's the community news. This is latest news, updates, and how to use the community, other ways that you can get involved in the community. One of the nice things about this particular page is that it will let you find FamilySearch lab projects. And FamilySearch is always coming up with new features to put into FamilySearch, but they don't put everything in. They want to test them first. So the FamilySearch lab projects let you join the lab, and then you can use those products. But if they don't work, then they might not wind up in the main session. But what you'll actually be able to do is give them feedback so that they know whether or not it works. So that's kind of nice if you would like to help FamilySearch out and get better. It also tells you if there's fixes, because a lot of times, you know, on this program this huge, which FamilySearch is very, very large, they're always, you know, things are always kind of breaking down or something will happen and there's an issue. So for example, on this one, you can see the community platform issues being addressed right here. This has mostly been addressed at this point. As of October 29th, some of the filters weren't working. This has been resolved. So this tells you when things are fixed, okay? And it tells you when things are malfunctioning. So that's kind of nice. I use that in case something happens and I'm like, what is wrong? Is this an issue? And if it's not been addressed already, then you can actually tell them about it. The next one is ask a question. So you can ask questions on any of these subjects here. These are not associated with the groups, however, so you're not, you know, this isn't about specific groups. So any question that you want to ask about a research problem that you're having or a translation or anything like that, you're not going to ask it here, okay? So these sections are self-explanatory. You can kind of just glance through them and see what they are. As you can see in the sidebar, it tells you how many discussions are associated with that particular section. It gives you, sometimes you can get better, not necessarily better, but more specific answers. And sometimes they're better than the help section might give you, because they'll be specific to your particular question and be very right exactly what you want to know. You can also suggest ideas down there at the bottom where it says suggestion ideas. An idea right there. Have an idea for how to make FamilySearch better. This is actually something they really like. And you can see there are more discussions there than on any of the other question comment topics. So FamilySearch likes to have new ideas. So if you have an idea, go ahead and suggest it and it might get adopted. When you ask these questions, you will get people in the community sometimes answer. Sometimes you'll get employees who will actually answer the question. So it just depends on the question that you're answering, what kind of answer you get. But if it's a technical question, usually an employee will answer it. You can answer questions as well on this if you know something about the topic or you have a comment to make about it. This is my pro hint, is to look up your question on Google with a FamilySearch reference before you ask the community, just in case it's already been answered. So you don't, reiterate something that's already been taken care of. Secondly, this is the groups. Now, this is really the most important part of the community in certain ways, because this lets you interact with people who are doing the same kind of research that you're doing, or who are interested in the same kinds of topics that you're interested in. So the groups are alphabetically arranged, and you can see them by all groups, just the groups that you're associated with, my groups, Research groups, those are things that just will be about research questions that you have about a certain family, or usually it's about a country or a region, and also Family Search sponsored groups. There's the ones that are just under Family Search's aegis. Most of them are Family Search sponsored groups. They're arranged alphabetically in this list, but you can search them with exact title, or you can scroll through if the title doesn't come up. Just scroll through the groups. There aren't that many, not enough that it's going to take you an hour to find it. But you do have to kind of, when you search, be aware that you do have to search for a pretty exact title. Okay, so you can't just like type in, say, for example, you wanted to find Africa research and you didn't see it right there or whatever. Anyway, if you're looking for Congo, for example, and you typed in Congo, it probably wouldn't come up because there's, as far as I'm aware, there isn't a Congo group in there. So not all the countries have their own group, is what I'm trying to make clear there. But most of the regions actually do. So if you don't find it under one region, just type in an associated region and see if it works, or just scroll through and find it. The research groups are genealogy based. That means you're asking questions about research, or sometimes culture or history. You can also get translation from the research groups. You can also find, as I mentioned before, you can find other groups and these groups as well in the Research Wiki under the Genealogy Research Group page. You can just search that in the Research Wiki and it'll come up. Family Search sponsored groups, there are various topics under the Family Search sponsored groups. I would suggest that if you decide to go through with a lot of groups, then you'll find your own groups under My Groups. So you don't have to look for them again. They're going to be under My Groups. And if you want to look at them in a different list, there is a different list with My Groups, New Groups, and Popular Groups. So this is kind of a cool list because it has new groups that are just been made and popular groups. And so you can go to this particular page. You can't find it. I don't think I couldn't find any other way to find it besides just going to the URL. So the URL is community.familysearch.org with /ing/groups. So that will take you to a different list that has a little bit different slant on it. Now, how do you join a group? Super easy. You go to the community, you click on the groups, you find the group that you want, either by searching or by scrolling, and then you can just click on the group title. It'll take you to that group. And then on all the groups, somewhere near the top, usually it's on the left, but sometimes it might be on the right, you're going to find and click the little button that says join. It's usually blue. If the group is public, then it will come up and ask you again if you want to join the group for sure, and you click OK. If the group's private, then it will come up and ask why you want to join the group, and then enter your answer and click OK. Private groups, and there aren't that many of them, the private groups, they have a person who monitors those groups, and they will just let you in as a general rule, unless unless you say I want to sell my book or something like that, then they probably won't. Okay, so this is one of the pages here. So if you wanted to join the British Isles Research Group, which I am a member of that, you would click on the red arrow there that's pointing to the join button. So you would join it, and then you'd be able to be in it already because you're a member of Family Search. This is a public group, so you don't have to worry about anything. This tells you at the top if there are any events that are associated with this group coming up. It also has those blue links. Will take you to different links that have to do with the British Isles. And you can see several, so your Family Search Wiki page will come up on that, and other learning resources. If there are any new historical records that have been posted recently in Family Search, it'll take you to those. It'll also take you to the blog posts about the British Isles. So that's really a nice, personally, I like that because then I don't have to search for anything. It just takes me right to it. If you look at the blue button on the right, the options button, that basically says quit the group if you want to. And then under the announcements, if there's anything different coming up or something new that's happening, or if they've got an interesting new thing that they want to let everybody know about, they'll put that there. But if you'll notice on on the right-hand side of all the posts, all those little lines in any of the lines in any of them, you'll have that little bookmark. Can you see it right there? Right there. So that little bookmark right there, that actually will let you bookmark things that you're interested in or posts that you've made that you want to go back to. And this little thing here will let you quit again. That just takes you out of it if you want to. This here where it says how to ask a question, it kind of gives you an overview about what kinds of things to do if you want to ask the question or talk about something. So that's a little bit different from discussions. Discussions are oftentimes just talking about resources or things like that. So it might not have a question asked. So this is the discussions part of it. And as you can see, there's, again, welcome. They'll welcome the new members every so often. So that comes up. But like, here's a discussion, help with Irish research, finding a birth record for Desert Martin, Londonderry, Ireland in 1784. And so there's 57 views of that, 7 comments, and gives the most recent commenter and the date. So anytime that you want to just kind of scroll through those and see if there's anything interesting that you might want to answer, you can do that. You can click on all discussions there at the bottom where the red arrow is pointing to all discussions. If you want a new discussion started, then you click on that blue button at the top up there, and it will bring up a little page that allows you to post whatever question or discussion you want to post about. We'll talk a little bit more about how to do those discussions in a second too. So at the bottom are upcoming events. There's nothing in this page particularly right now, and usually isn't. And the other one is at the bottom. You can see there are the public photos of all the members. Some of them don't have photos, some do. If you don't want your photo out there for the public, then just don't put a photo in to your settings, and then it won't go in there. You can also find all the members by clicking on a little tiny blue link there, and it will tell you the handles. It doesn't tell you their names unless their handle is their name, but it will give you the handles of all the members. So if there's somebody there you want to actually get in touch with, you can. Okay, so this is when you want a new discussion. You're going to find this page. You'll also, there's another little box for if you want to put in a new idea. I put that down in the left. And then there's also, if you want to leave a comment on another discussion, that box is on the right. So the new discussion comes up when you click on the blue button that says new discussion. And you want to put in a title. Now, if you're asking for some help, or you have a translation, or you like, say you have a really old will that you would like someone to help you read, put in to that title exactly what you want. Don't just say help, or, help me with a Wiltshire record, or, do something really nice and specific in the title so that people will actually want to read it and help you. Most people will just pass over things that don't seem like they have any use to read. So that's one suggestion I have. The second one is when you actually type in your question, make it again very specific and give very, very specific information. Sometimes I have people who need me to help them with consultations that I do. And they will, on their application for the consultation, they'll say something like, so-and-so was born in, like some really common name, John Smith or something, was born in Georgia. And that's about it. They won't tell me the county. They don't tell me what the problem is. They'll just say, so-and-so born in Georgia. I want to find his parents. Well, that's just great, but it doesn't help me to help them. So if you really want help, you really need to get specific in these questions, okay? And then you'll get the help. Now, the really cool thing here is you can add an emoji if you want to, if you're that kind of emoji typer. And then you can also upload an image. So you see the emoji here. You can upload an image by clicking on that. That image part used to not work very well. Now it works again. So if you click on that, you can upload an image from a file that's on your computer, and it will just upload it just like it does in Memories or something. So if like you take an image of something you need to have read, or you can't read it a little bit, or any translation, whatever it is you need, you can upload that and then people can see it. Now, I always suggest, do not just upload like a little tiny piece of something. When someone is trying particularly to translate, and I can say this from experience, if you do not upload more than just like a sentence or 2 sentences, the person is going to have a harder time, because in those kinds of old documents, if you can look at the handwriting of more than just a few words, it'll help you to translate, because every person wrote, just like nowadays, in a different hand. And so if sometimes they would write, particularly in German, for example, they might write their G one way, and another person can write it in a completely different way. So if you can find G's and they're obvious G's on the page, then you can do it a little more easily. So don't just put in a couple of words, or unless you can just type them out. But if it's an image, I suggest uploading as much of the image as will fit in there. Insert a URL. So if you can't upload the image because it's too big, for example, it's a resource and it's got a whole page, then insert the URL to the page, and then the person can go to the whole page and read the whole page, and that will help too. You can also attach files from your computer. Okay, so the tags, you can tag them. You can tag people by typing @ and then someone's username. So a member that you found down there on that main page, you can type @ that person, and then you can mention them in the post, and then they'll get notified about that post. You can also copy it to, don't do it to too many, but you can copy to 1 or 2, like if something seems like it's relevant to Poland and Germany, for example, and there are 2 different groups for that, and you want to put them in both groups, then you can put the group name there, and then the post will show in another group in addition to the group that you posted it in, like maybe Ireland and British Isles. So you could do that. So there are a bunch of tags. If you click on where it says show popular tags here, that just gives you a list of all the different tags. But you know what a tag is, it's hashtag whatever. So those are the tags. And then you can save a draft. So if you're not ready to post it yet, or you don't have all the information you need, you're just wanting to get it, started, you can save the draft, or you can click on the blue button here and post the discussion. And that will put it into that group, or if you put it into more than one group, it will post the discussion into the groups. So that's cool, huh? I like that. Up here at the top, you have the crumbs. So these are the breadcrumbs. This will take you back to the home of community. This will take you back to the main group page of communities. And this will take you directly to the England research from this page, the one that you just came from. On this, they're basically the same. This is just for the new ideas. So if you want to suggest an idea, it's the same basic principles. And on leaving a comment for another person, if somebody else has said something and you want to comment on it, this is what will come up. Leave a comment, and you can then post the comment. And you can save the drafts of comments too. Now you can find those drafts by going to your quick links. Okay, your drafts are in the quick links, and so are your discussions that you've already posted. So it's very easy to use these communities. You can't get lost very easily in them. I just posted that thing on the right, by the way. This right here on the left, I mean, that you can actually quote an entire section or an entire comment and post it in your discussion so that you can refer to it. And then these are other things, just, these are just things for formatting, just in case you're a person who's really interested in that kind of stuff. Okay, now this is the question. How do you post effective questions and comments? First of all, keep it simple, specific, and to the point. Don't wander around talking about how your great-grandfather used to live in Tennessee, and then when his mom died, left him an orphan, and then he wandered off to Mississippi, and then, but he died in Tennessee, and again, and I want to know, don't do that. That's very unproductive. I can guarantee people do not want to listen to you talking about your family history. They want to know what you need help with, and then they're willing to help it. Okay, search first to see if somebody's already posted the question or comment, as I mentioned before. Create a useful subject line, as I mentioned before. Put who, where, when, any other specific information in the title, in that subject line, okay? Provide details in the body of the message. Do tell what you've already looked at, so that people are not, just doing what you've already done and reproducing what you've already looked at. So that's not fair to people. So share what you've already done to a certain extent, and don't get into too much detail, but just say what you've done. Share where you found what you've already found, so they are not going to look in those places, okay? Or say, I think I found something in this place, but I'm not sure if this is the correct person. And then, that's great, do that. Be brief, be specific, don't meander around. And last of all, summarize your purpose. So in your title, you've put your question. In your details, you've put what you need. And then at the very end, summarize exactly what you want, what you're hoping to find, what you need help with exactly, and what your idea, if it's just a suggestion or an idea, if you're commenting on somebody else's, again, the same thing. State your answer precisely. So if you're answering somebody else's comment, just answer the comment, okay? And just tell them, exactly what you want to say, and don't wander around. This is not a place for it's kind of a social place in a certain way, but it's not really a place to like Facebook, you're not putting things in on like Facebook. Okay. Now, when you post things, or when you see posts, when there are posts, people and you can flag a post. See the flag? Now, there are reasons to flag a post. If someone is abusive or making comments that are inappropriate or saying things about people that are rude, there are things that you can flag posts for. So be aware of that, and you know what those things are. You can also post, like I said, other people's posts if you click on quote in your own comment when you're commenting on it, so that people know what you're talking about. You can also dislike or like. I don't see many dislikes, and I don't think it's very nice to dislike personally, so I don't ever use it. You can, this is from a specific comment, so if you do get likes, it'll tell you how many likes you have, and then you can like somebody else's comment. And if you love the post or the comment, then you can click on the heart and say it was awesome. You can message people privately as well. You can message people privately on FamilySearch, and you possibly already know how to do that. If you don't, you can find that out very easily. You just go on your main page and then click on the message thing, the little envelope there on the main page, and it will come up. Now, within the community group, you can message members of the community group privately, okay? So within the community group, you go to the group page that you want to communicate with a person on. At the bottom of the page, you find the members, which you can see down here at the bottom. That's what I showed you before, the members. To see the full list of members, click all members. Find the person to whom you want to send your message, and then click the photo or the icon. If you don't know who he is, then you're not going to be able to find him usually, because they don't usually put their full names, but some people do. And then click message. Enter your message in the text box, click post message, and it will just go to that person. So it won't go to everybody. So it's really easy to do that. Very easy. Just find the person you want, click on their icon, and then click message and send them your message. I send a lot of messages to people about people in my tree that maybe I have a question about, or something that they have found, or maybe a resource or a source that I'm either questioning a little bit or that I want more information about. If I'm questioning someone's source, however, and I really caution you about this, be kind, be loving. They're your relatives. So they need to, you just need to be very, very nice and not get people all up in arms. Because if you say something, this is the dumbest thing I ever saw, why did you post that? No. That is not kind. And so even something like, What are you doing? I don't know what it is, but just don't do it. Okay, be nice. And then from the discussion thread, you can also post specifically to a person. So if you're at a post that you want to message somebody personally and not have everybody see, click on the person's community ID at the top of the post. Okay, so here it is right here. You can see this would be somebody's community ID. You would click on that and then click on message and then click post on the message. And again, that will go directly to that person and won't go to anybody else. All right. So these are just some frequently asked questions. How do I search for a specific group? I just told you how to do that. But you can filter the groups by language, location, region. You can browse them or search for a group name. Do you have to join a group to ask a question? Yes, you do. So you can't ask a question in a group unless you join. Now, on the other hand, if you don't want to stay a member of that group for whatever reason, you can quit. You can quit the group under the options button or under that little 3 dots thing. How do you ask a research question? We've already been over that just a little bit, but you do have to be signed in with your FamilySearch account and you have to be a member of the specific group, that's a research group particularly, that you're asking the question of. How do you get translation help? This is one that a lot of people ask me. And so this is one that can be really useful if you're researching another country and you really don't know the language. So join the research group for the country or the language you need help from. Post your question under ask a question with the caveats that I told you about with a link or the image itself. I like links to images myself personally more because then I can see that, like I said, the whole image. And an explanation of what you already know. Okay, don't expect somebody to translate a huge thing because that is not right and not fair, and they probably won't do it. But, maybe one entry would be fine. What is the difference between posting a new discussion and asking a question? Well, questions, of course, are help with translation, finding records, getting answers to research questions. Those are questions and those are perfectly valid. Discussions are for you to share new resources, ideas, links that you found that are really awesome that you want to share with everybody. And you can have conversations. The discussion could become just a conversation. I'm not saying not to make this a social place. I'm just saying if you have a question or if you want to do a specific discussion, be specific about what you're asking. But you can turn it into a little bit of a social place if you want, because your discussions are your discussions. What is an accepted answer? Okay, when someone adds a comment or answers your question, then an option will appear. If you read that answer, you like it, then it will say, did this answer your question? And you'll say, yeah. If you didn't, then leave it unanswered, as don't accept it as an answer. And then other people will still answer it. If you say yes, then it will not be posted anymore as a question. Okay. That option does not come on discussions, by the way, only on the questions. So you can make friends and influence people in the community. You can have a lot of new knowledge come to yourself as a result of being a member of the community. You can help other people with the community feature, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for you to get involved with other people in research and in helping other people with their research. So I hope you'll check it out and that you'll enjoy using it. I think it's a great function it's as far as, I've been in other forums and I like the other forums like in other sites. But for me personally, I think the FamilySearch community, is functional in a certain way that some of the other ones aren't quite as functional. And so for me, I like it. I'm not disparaging any of the other ones. It's just for me, I really do enjoy the FamilySearch community. It's a really nice function. So thank you for coming today. And if you have any questions, I'm willing to answer them.